Okay, here we go. I am Steve. A lot of folks call me Doc. And the first thing I want to discuss is my blog. Now, it is http bluesband57.wordpress.com. And I have a few things set up. And the first thing I have in my blog is what we call the Song of the Week. The first song we had was from Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and it was called Blue on Black. This week I chose one from a gentleman who wrote he wrote Baker Street, and his name is Jerry Rafferty. Now, sad part about it is we lost him last week on Wednesday. And as I was looking into it, found out that he had played in several different bands. He got started in the 60s with the Mavericks, and by the time the 70s rolled around, early 70s, he had played for ready for this one, the Humble Bums. That didn't last very long, so he went to the Steeler Wheels. Now, they're the ones who recorded City to City, and that was in 1978. That was his first hit. Now, if you remember old John Travolta doing his little finger slice across his face, it became real popular then. Well, right after that, he went to his mother-in-law's basement and recorded Baker Street. Now, Baker Street, believe it or not, he played every instrument on it. He sold 5 million copies of that record, and within months became a multi-millionaire. Now, he died at the age of 63, very young. Second thing on my blog is politics. Let me tell you something. Last time this country was in this position, it took a president over 12 years to get us through it. Now, here we are. We elected a president 2 years ago, and we demanded that he fix it immediately. Well, 2 years later, it ain't fixed. Now, so what did we do? We elected a bunch of new folks and demand they fix it in 2 years. Think about this for a second. We gave the first one over 12, and he did fix it. Did we go into a war? Yes. But remember, this one is trying to get out of a war that didn't fix the problem to start with. It helped create it. We elected the man. He is our president. Let's support him. This is America. You know what we look like across the world because of how we treat our own president? Hey, get on the blog, comment on it. I don't care. What I do care about is how you comment on it. No cussing, no derogatory statements, and please, no insulting each other. I won't stand it, I won't put up with it, and if I see it, I'll erase it. Next thing we're going to work on, we offer on the blog site is what I call the public opinion, and it's on anything that strikes your interest. It could be from anything. I mean, let's talk about New Orleans, let's talk about actors and actresses in music, let's talk about, aren't you getting tired of folks being in the limelight all the time? I mean, let's remember good old Tiger Woods. How long was that in the news? It sucked. Now, finally, the last section in the blog is called Hello World. Now, this has to do with what is happening all over the world. Let me give you an example. Now, excuse me, our gas prices are going up, and they're predicting $5 a gallon before November of this year. Why? Well, Japan has started getting more and more vehicles in its country. So let's think of supply and demand. The supply, they say, is minimal. and you know that's a lie. And demand is greater. Well, it is. So with the demand coming up, they can go ahead and charge whatever they want to because they say supply is limited. Now let's look at the three major oil companies. All three of them made a profit of over $36 million a year. And last year, BP, of course, is the only one who made the $36 million profit. The other two major oil companies made a lot more than that. Now, Japan is the one with all the vehicles, and we're going to pay the cost for it. I will look it up, and I'll tell you, let you know what they're paying for their gas in Japan, what they're paying for gas in Europe, what they're paying for gas in Canada, and let's see if we're getting a fair shake, getting a better one, or getting a worse one. All right, at the bottom of it, you're going to find my other sites. The first one is my radio station. It is at www.live365.com/index live. Now, and what you're going to look for is More Than the Blues. It's got a lot of blues in it, but of course I play a lot of other things in it too. Then you will find me on Facebook at www.facebook.com/#Doc.France. Now, Doc France is all capital letters. All right, now we've started. Let's get rocking and rolling. Take a look at my blog. You've seen the YouTube. Take a listen to the radio station. I've got right now 165,000 folks who have been invited to take a listen to the radio station, and it just started last week. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Write whatever you want to on the radio station, on YouTube, on Facebook. Have at it. Let's go. Looking forward to it. Thanks.